So on today's episode of of things we like to do to make Jason nervous, I am finalizing the install of the Hideaway gas fill. So it's a super cool design, nice product, it goes in good. However, the decision was made to do this after the truck was painted. So it adds a degree of difficulty to it that, you know, it can be done and it's going to be worth it when it's all said and done, but normally it's right at the back of the door. Factory, the gas tank is inside the truck, so in behind the driver's seat. Yeah, so the tank is underneath the back now, more like a newer type vehicle. So the gas fill, in a lot of trucks they would put, like similar to the gold truck that we just did, we put the gas fill down through the bed floor, which is also a nice way to do it. It's clean, it gets, you know, you don't see it or anything. But this is a super, like, really slick kind of thing to do. It's a takeaway from the old Cadillac had that. Your Tri-5 cars had the Hideaway gas tank in the taillight. So the light itself is the factory light. I mean, it's not a factory light, it's a factory replacement LED light. Yeah, so you can buy this taillight, this LED taillight, it's just an aftermarket LED taillight for this truck. So yeah, I have a friend that does car stuff too, and he just recently did one of these in a truck. He's like, yeah, you know, this thing's pretty cool, you know, it went pretty easy, kind of a pain in the ass. And I told him, I said, yeah, I said, I get to do it on a freshly painted black truck. That's your department.
I'm guessing we should probably, like,
yeah, once I have it welded,
wipe them.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Just so it doesn't.
I gotta break this tack and move it in just a hair. I've got it sitting pretty nice. Down at the bottom it sits good. It sticks out too much here though. And I've got that adjusted back all the way. So I'm gonna break the top tack and lean the box in. Move it over a little at the bottom.
This hole right here.
Yeah.
Damn it. It slipped?
Yeah.
You needed a ground for his welding.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I did that on the bottom of the bumper. I just ground some paint off and clipped it to it.
What is this? We got a bunch of seamless tanks. So we're gonna get a bunch of deliveries this week so we can take stuff out to Texas. This is all going to the show, LST.
Oh, it's all Dixon.
Yeah, it's all Dixon flannels. It's a lot. I think it's just like 2 or 3 different styles, but I mean, people love those flannels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
look, this thing is nice. Look at this. I can sign my name. Perfect. I'm gonna start saying that. Damn, this is a nice pen. See how many of them give to me.
So I've been working on this 1971 Plymouth GTX. Really cool car, came in factory car, kind of a unique one to get an air ride system on it. Started working in the back, realized that RideTech does not make a kit for a 71, they make it for a 70. So I had to do some modifications to the RideTech kit, still use most of the components. Did a few modifications here and there to make it fit. So on the 70, the brackets for the lower bracket for the shock is a little bit further outboard. With the 71, there was a lot of things in the way, so I had to make a separate bracket, move it in on the axle a little bit to allow the shock, and then, like I said, modified the upper bars a little bit, had to widen them to make them the width of the car instead of the width of the earlier model. The front of the car was identical to the 70, so it was nice. That went in per RideTech's instructions. So a little bit of cutting here and there, but everything was lined out for you in the instructions. So it's kind of nice when that happens, especially after the amount of work that had to go into the back to make that work. We've got a cool stance for it. So next it'll get fitted for wheels and tires, get its new wheel package here, so we can set everything up and finalize it.
Well, I mean, I'd love to show you where I put my shocks, but I can't get in there, dude. I tell people all the time that the RideTech shocks I got on my shocks, my Cadillac might be a little bit overkill, but dude, they're fucking perfect, you know?
Right, good. Once you put air ride on it, so I don't want people to get in my Cadillac and say, wow, this ride's like crap.
Well, the problem I was having was kind of similar to what you're having, but it was the opposite direction. Because what happened with my rear end is because it would ride differently when it had a full tank of gas rather than it had an empty tank of gas, because like as the tank got more empty, it just started to bounce even more, so I'd stiffen up the shock to try and fight it, but then when I put gas in it, it just would ride like trash.
Gotcha.
The RideTech shocks, I was able to dial a lot of that in.
Cool.
And when we put the MDF in the back for the trunk setup, getting that extra weight behind the axle was heaven sent, dude.
Yeah.
So it rides great now, yeah.
So people assume I got a bunch of batteries in the trunk, right? But it's like, no, we didn't have to tear out the back seat. Okay. Full trunk. And then the chargers under the lights.
You don't see ones like this very often, man.
Barrett Jackson wanted it. So they listed it top 50 builds last year. Yesterday I got an email saying, will you guys bring it for this one? So
Nice.
that's why I'm like last minute, like get the shocks.
Together, huh?
Yeah,
Got to drive it
get
a
all-
long way, man. You want to make sure it's right.
Yeah.
So we're here with Ramon's 1961 Chevy Impala. We had done some previous work for him on a wiring kit install. At that time he wanted to add some air conditioning. So we're here now installing the vintage air system. The install of the vintage air on this one is a little bit tight. The 61, 62 both have a dash that's not got a lot of room behind it. So it takes some work and some finesse to get that unit in there. There's several aftermarket air conditioners on the market. We primarily stick with the vintage air. They have what they call their SureFit system that is designed to go in the vehicles. Unfortunately, with the 348-409 engine, that came a problem with the front drive, so we ended up with a front drive kit as well. So the front drive kit basically is what would be all of your pulleys that drive alternators, power steering, things on the front of the engine. The issue we ran into with this was just, frankly, there's not a lot of bracketry made for the W block engines, so we ran out of pulley locations. So we ended up with a billet new style front drive with a serpentine belt that handles all of that great and looks pretty nice also. One of the other things we did on the 61 Impala was the Holley Retro Bright headlights. It's a nice upgrade, keeps a factory finish look, but gives it that HID capability. So he wanted to upgrade the headlights, so we also took care of that for him. Yeah, so this one's ready to go home for this time. He's got on the menu right now, he wants to do the airbags, do the air ride system, but at the same time he does that, he wants all of the control arms and things we're going to add to be chromed. So we're going to start, while he's got the car enjoying it, we're going to start working on getting those pieces off to chrome and get the axle housing chromed for him, hopefully for his future airbag install.
Find the template for your truck. None of these say long bed. Yeah, Altman's pretty nice about that. They sent you a nice little paper template. Be better if they just sent you, like, you know, someone to cut the hole in the door for you. Drill the holes, and then I'm going to fill the holes.
That's what she said.
And after that, who knows, could just be a party. When you're doing something real custom, it's kind of like it looks, well, you have that thing bolted in, where if you weld this all in, then all you have is these 3 bolts. Yeah, it's like a new car. You can push it and then push it. Done. These trucks had a tendency of the doors to fall open while you're going down the road. My 63, on occasion, when you hit the brakes, both doors fly open. Like if you have to panic stop. Yeah. Apologize to the person who your passenger door hit. Anybody that's had one of these trucks knows exactly what I'm talking about too. Hit a bump too hard or hit the brakes too hard and the doors fly open. So we're getting close to buttoning up Mike's 71 GTX here. It's really turned out really cool. Did the RideTech suspension underneath it, the AccuAir air management, and blah. No, they made fun of me and called me a tard, so I don't think they're gonna get mad.
No, they called you Special Ed.
Right. That was a long time ago, though. I'm over it. Still pretty pissed. So I had to cut the exhaust, do a little modification to it to allow it to get as low as it needed to with the air suspension. Nothing major, just kind of reused most of his exhaust, redid the section where it passes the axle. Yeah, I kept the original GTX exhaust tips. I understand they're a pretty big deal. The wheels came in for it, they look great. You know, just everything about the car now is turning out really cool, so.
Yeah, this is a big improvement for this car. I wasn't a big fan of the black with black, but the car has the black splitter, the black hood scoop, the black vinyl top, the black wing, black stripe on the side. The stuff down the middle is all satin blacks, just like our centers, and then our stripe is gloss black, just like our lips, so pretty cool. The fact that we were able to run that big of a rear tire, so we're in a 305 tire with factory tubs, is pretty neat. The car will get it pretty good, like it's pretty neat.
How'd that sound? So long, gay boys.
I'll get you the order information for. So it looks like this is an 07. Let's swap this too. Grab one of these. Just grab that one out of the way. So these are all the same, so they can all get boxed up the same. This one's, we're gonna be shipping 3 of them out. We already sold 3. And then he'll bring out the rest of them later. So looks like we got 5, right? 2, 6, 5, 5. Cool. I'll get you information for this one and then we'll box those up.
You don't think the tip should come back further? It's what it's like, and it goes in there.
See it come out so fast, like you're not even gonna.
All right.
And then with these, it's gonna reignite the flame, and you got fire shooting out like on Fast and the Furious, and it's gonna be so badass. And then when you hit the nitrous and your car explodes, and then it's gonna be like.
I don't believe any of that's gonna happen. Just make sure we wrap those corners.
And sometimes when you hit the nitrous, the floor pan falls out of your car for no apparent reason.
That has happened to me. That's true.
Too much.
Putting my wheels back on. Yeah, you see the group message on Instagram the other day? I fucking blew my tire on the way to work. Take the loaners off. This thing's never clean when you're filming.
We hear a lot of people that, oh, that's not the right way to do it. It's like, it's a custom car. There is no right way. The right way is whatever way the guy that's paying for it says it needs to be. If he wants to paint it pink with Hello Kitty on it, that's the right way.
Yeah, I don't know. He wants to paint it black. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I like the yellow on this car.
Because it looked like your fridge when you were growing up.
No, my fridge was green. Actually, our fridge was pink. Maybe he'll go black with and do yellow on the hood and yellow stripes and numbers. That would look kind of cool. Just reverse the paint job.
No.
Because you have to have the air grabber a different color than the body.
I love the air grabber, dude.
Well, as I'm saying, that the center of the hood being black.
You see that thing? You see the switch inside? You get to turn it on, dude. Oh, when you're ready for air to be grabbed, you hit the switch.
Like when he comes up with the camera, just be like, "Oh, hello there."
And then we also need the little trees with a Bob Ross. Anytime something's messed up, we just put some trees over here.
Just need 3 stickers.
This fucking place looks like a forest.